Welcome back. In this video, we're going to continue our series on creating music, and this is part 2 in song development. And so we're going to get into taking our captured ideas, like we did in our last video, and we're going to begin to develop them. If you like what you see here today, please hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel. So we're going to go ahead and get right to it. Okay, song development. Song development is really where you're going to start to learn more practical tools that you can use to create your songs. It's at this point that we're going to go ahead and tap into not just your inspiration, but also the tools of song development and how to use those in such a way to take just a fragment of an idea and turn it into a completed piece of music. So after I come back, I'm meeting that date that I set aside to come back and start on the development of my song. First thing I'm going to want to do is to listen to my idea, and I want to have a fresh set of ears on it to say, ooh, is that good? Is it bad? Am I going to continue on this song or not? So we'll listen to it real quick. That was the intro that I added when I was being inspired. There's the idea. Alright, so I had added an intro when I had captured it, and I had put it on my manuscript paper as I had in the last piece. Put a little 8-bar intro onto it, then I put down the set of chords. I'd captured those chords on my manuscript paper, and so now I'm able to follow along and see what I've got there. I may not have put it down on manuscript paper, but I just kept the audio recording, so now would be the time to go ahead and create a basic chord chart for what I've already put down on the audio recorder. At this point, I look at my chart, I can determine that it's 8 bars long, and I can feel the tempo, so I can find the tempo, add that in here, and then make sure that I have tempo set to go ahead and develop this piece of music. Let's go ahead and turn the metronome on. Usually I do that when I'm capturing the process, so we just know that that's the case here. So now when I start, so now there's a metronome on there. And at this point, I want to see if I can get a little more out of this idea. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe add a bass part underneath it. I'm going to add a drum part to it, and I'm going to see what it sounds like. Let's do that. So there's the bass part in there, and there's a simple drum part underneath. Coming into the main part of the main riff, here it goes. Like the feel, it's got a push and pull to it. All right, well that gives me something to work on then. I've got something that has feel to it. It's something I think that I could take somewhere and turn into something neat. Now some of you at this point, you may have in the past when you've created things, you've decided to use manuscript paper as your main tool to go ahead and create your music. You might not have used any recorder like what I've used here at all. And in that case, that's fine. If you're someone who's got some ability to write notes and rhythm and harmony, and you might want to go ahead and do that on your manuscript paper with a treble clef and a bass clef, you can do that. Or there's other tools out there that you might want to use as well, like a tool like MuseScore. This is MuseScore that you see on the screen, and you can capture notes, you can capture everything you want on it, and then you can play it back to see what it sounds like. So that's what really makes MuseScore really cool. There's other more larger programs like Finale and some other things as well that you could use. Doesn't matter. If you're a purist and you would rather go that way, that's fine. The idea is just to capture idea and to begin to develop it in a way that's going to work for you. I have found, and for this series, I'm using my audio recorder so that I can go ahead and show you a simple, tried and true method where I can take my inspired idea, begin to develop it, and finish it in a way that makes sense. The next step after this, after I have this basic rhythm track, and this might have started with a melody, at this point I'm going to add a melody to it and see what it sounds like. Here we go. Okay, so I got a nice little melody. So at this point, this is somewhat of a completed section of music. We might call this the intro and maybe a verse, or maybe we call it section A. And later on we'll talk more about form, song form. But when I start to develop ideas, I'll take an idea and put it in something like this and say, yeah, I think this is something good. I'll listen to the end of it, and then I'll try to decide what's next. Does it feel like it should go somewhere? And so at that point, I'll add another section and add the bass and the drums and a melody on there. And then I'll do it again. So I might end up starting with 1, 2, 3 sections of music. And at that point, I'll stop and take a pause in the development process, and I'll start to put some things down there. I'll sort of look at it on the chart that I've created so far, and I'll say, well, let's go ahead and make this long. I'm going to go ahead and make the verse this long and the B section this long. Then I'll go ahead, and this is the first time, and I'll put it down. I can take my existing track, or I can go ahead and start over. I'll go ahead and record it up through what I think would work for the beginning parts of the song. I'm going to do this so that I can listen back and do my first real evaluation of the song and say, this song, it feels like it has a start, it feels like it has an arrival place, like a pre-chorus or a chorus, and it sounds like I might be able to repeat it back. So I'm not trying for perfect notes. I'm not trying for the exact chords. I'm not even trying to put all that many instruments into it. I want to hear the basic bones of the song and the melody. Songs are made up of 3 elements traditionally, and that's going to be melody, harmony, and rhythm. Now, if we had a song that we sang, you would also add lyric in there too. But when we're talking about traditional writing of music, we have melody, harmony, and rhythm. So I would listen to these things, make some notes, walk back through the chart, make some changes on those, and then I know that I've got this idea is rolling down the tracks. I can go as far as I want, create as many sections that I want in this development part. This is not the final deal. This is just developing this into parts and pieces that I can begin to use. So that's part 2 of creating music in the song development process. I hope you liked this video. If you did, click the button below and subscribe to the channel. See more content. We also have a book coming out next year called The Better Band. And if you're interested in that, there'll be some more information about that in the coming weeks and months. Glad you came and watched the video today. We'll see you in part 3 of creating music, and leave your comments below and let me know what you do in song development.